and somebody hits me from behind, how am I accountable? Well, you are accountable. You attracted that into your life, and you should look and see what you're supposed to learn from it, but you're not liable, right? There's still laws out there. I don't suggest that you tell your lawyer or your judge or whoever it may be that you're liable for the accident, but you are accountable. You must be accountable for everything in your life in order to learn from it. When we take accountability, we actually open ourselves to be vulnerable and to take responsibility, but most important, to have control in our lives. That we can manifest or attract whatever we want into our lives to learn the lessons that we need to learn. The last thing that I thought about was effective communication. Now, I'd always been a fairly good communicator, being able to inspire other people, but I, once again, couldn't give what I didn't have. And I learned that was two things to communicate. One was this connection that I had, this communication I have to the greatest source of energy, light, infinity of power, this unbelievable source that inspires me, because I actually need to communicate and be inspired in order to inspire others. Effective communication is a two-way communication. That between you and that which inspires you, that you're constantly connected to, in which later on I'll talk about the ego interfering or corroding with that connection, but more importantly, how am I allowing it to come through me for others to inspire them? So we learn gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication. Now all of this sat really well with me, and I started living my life with all four of these, and a lot of people thought this quantum shift in my life, this spiritual shift of living with gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, inspiration, all the time, how did that fit into the real world? I was a person who, now I was running the most notable sports agency in the world, going into some pretty big multi-billion-dollar opportunities, talking about manifesting things, really wasn't aligned. In fact, my wife had suggested that I should start meditating. And I was kind of against meditation because I believe in the law of Goya. The law of Goya is get off your ass. I thought people that meditated were broke, sick, lying at home on their mom's couch. Right? Those were spiritual people to me. For me, I live by the law of Goya. I own 33 houses, a golf course, a ski mountain, a Ferrari, a Porsche. It did not come from meditating. It came from working hard, working smart, and working long. What is working long? Everybody knows what working hard and smart is. But what is working long? Working long is, I think, the biggest challenge for most people in the law of Goya. Working long, and I indicated this today to some people, it happens usually about 25% or in 10 years. We work really hard and we get to 25% of the way there, we work really hard for 10 years, and 99% of the people quit. 99% of the people can't work long. They quit. They start putting faith in what other people think. Oh, you should get married. Oh, I told you to be a doctor. Oh, you can't do this anymore. It's too hard. Right? We start putting faith in what other people want for us. Here's the saddest thing. And I'll take the example. Let's take someone that works 10 years and is 25% of the way there. So they drop out of college at 20 years old. At 30 years old, they're 25% of the way there. Their parents, their friends, their girlfriend all tell them that they're wasting their life. It's time to get a real job. 99% of the people quit. The 1% go on because they're focused on acceleration and growth. They're working long. 5 years later, of that 1%, they're now 50% of the way there. They were 25% of the way there in 10 years, 50% of the way there in 5 years. Now everybody's really on them. Their parents are telling them, hey, I gotta be a grandparent. You don't own a house, you don't own your own car, you don't have a real job. You've gotta figure things out. Your friends are calling you a loser because they're making 6 figures, they're married with kids and living the dream. 99% of the 1% put faith in what other people think, the judgments and conditions. They want to be a copy. What do I mean by that? When you put faith in what other people want for you, you're just copying something. Do you want to be a copy or do you want to be extraordinary? Do you want to be original, authentic? Then you need to put faith in what you want and put faith into the acceleration and growth. What happens? So out of the 1%, another 99% drop out, making less competition for you, making you extraordinary just by math. But moreover, 2.5 years later, you're 100% of the way there. You're 100% of the way there. So you were 20 years old, now at 37.5, you're 100% of the way where you told everyone you would be. Now you're lucky. Now your friends are calling you for jobs. Now you make more money than them. But the coolest thing is, in a year and 3/4, you're 200% of the way there. In 7/8 of the year, you're 400% of the way there. 7/16, 800% of the way there. 7/32, right, 3,200, and so on and so on and so on. That's how you get to be a billionaire. That's how you accelerate and grow. Not putting faith in what other people want, but what you want, working long through the law of Goya. Now, interesting enough, I was flying to India, and this woman next to me, this medical doctor, she looked at me and she said, "Are you okay?" I was running the most notable sports agency in the world with Lee Steinberg, so in my arrogant, ego-based mind, I looked at her and said, "Am I okay? Do you know who I am?" "Of course I'm okay. I'm rich. Money buys happiness. Of course I'm all right." She said, "Oh, it's too bad." She goes, "Because you have so much light, but you're blocking it." I now roll my eyes because I'm flying to India, thinking this is going to be a really long flight. I've heard this story from my mom and my wife before. So I said, "Well, I don't really understand, but thank you." She said, "Well, do you meditate?" I said, "Nope, don't have time to meditate. Meditating is for broke, sick people who live on their mom's couch. I have a Ferrari, a Porsche, a huge home in Rancho Santa Fe, California. I have everything that money can buy. What do I need meditation for? I believe in the law of Goya. I work smart, I work hard, and I work long. I don't need meditation." She said, "Oh, that's too bad, because I can teach you to vibrate faster." Now she piqued my curiosity. I'm like, "What does vibration have to do with meditation?" She said, "Well, everything vibrates in the universe. The earth vibrates the slowest, then plants, animals, sound, humans, sound, light, then thought." She said, "Do you know what vibrates the fastest?" I said, "No." She said, "The truth. The truth vibrates the fastest, and you can only be aware of that which vibrates equal to or less than you. I can teach you through meditation to raise your vibration, raise your awareness, and to understand the truth. Raise your intuition." She said, "If you like the law of Goya to make money, imagine the greatest thing I can give you, the gift of meditation to raise your awareness so that you can be aware of, for example, when to buy or sell. If I can teach you to be aware of when to buy or sell, we can make $1 billion really quickly." That interests me. Enough to stay and learn meditation. Theta meditation is what I learned to increase the vibration of my cells, my soul, my mind, so that I could be more aware, and quantum healing. She took a person who only believed in the law of Goya and taught him the law of attraction. The law of attraction doesn't work without the law of Goya. You gotta work smart, long, and hard, but you have to fill a space for what you want. And you fill that space through focus. Focus is the key to what we do. Focus allows us to pay attention, to harness the power of a field of intention that holds everything for everyone. Now, how do we do that? How do we fill a space? I spent the majority of my early life as a multimillionaire, someone who lost over $100 million and went bankrupt in his early 30s, doing it by manipulating people, overselling them, back-end selling them, sometimes lying, sometimes cheating. Right? I made my money the way that most people that I know that made as much money that I did, by living in a scarce world. I was concerned about what I could take. How intelligent I was, how great of a salesperson, could I get the most out of every deal? I wasn't really concerned about a void or a shortage of what I was creating or putting faith into the lessons that I needed to learn. I was most concerned about me and what I could make. And I justified it because I gave it away. Right? I had my own family. I bought all these things and I traded, right? I always tell people about giving. When you're giving for abundant, unconditional reasons, that's giving. When you're giving to get something, it's trading. I would trade, even when I donated money, I wanted to see my name there. I wanted to hear people say how generous I was. But in the end, what I was an overseller, back-end seller, manipulator. And then I learned the 120 rule through meditation. 120 rule is simply bringing $100 of value, but making sure that we ask for 20 back. Does anybody here have a $20 bill of any country? Anyone have $20? Come on up here. What country are you from? New Zealand, even better. Will you do me a favor? Can I trade you, I don't know the exchange rate, but can I trade you $100 United States for $20 New Zealand? You sure? All right, thank you. Can't find it. See, he has 20 right here. I'll give you 10 seconds. All right, we'll take a trade. What country? Australian money. Is that a fair trade? Thank you. I lived my life in 120 rule. I changed my life. I went through a quantum shift. By the way, does anyone else have 20? Oh, yeah. I always like to do that. It's like, oh, yeah, now you all have 20. So I lived my whole life of how I could take that 100 from you, but I now live my life in faith. And it's not any religion connected to my faith that matters to anyone other than I have faith that my job is to be as productive as I can and as accessible as I can. Meaning, how much value can I provide, and how accessible am I to others, and how do I access what I want? It's a give and receive. In fact, it's not just mathematically challenging to my business, because I guarantee, I was speaking with my friend here, I guarantee everybody that I'm a profit center. I only work month to month with people, and I guarantee you, I'm a profit center, that I will bring $100 of value, and I will ask you for $20 of value back. Every single month. That's the standard that I live by now. Instead of the standard of how much money can I talk you out of, I actually am concerned with creating a void that the universe will fill because I have faith. See, before, I would make all these promises, and then I would have to fill the void, and I'm human. Right? That means I'm not efficient, I'm not effective, I'm not statistically successful. I would have to fill the void. And I would tell you that 97% of the people on earth try to fill the void the same way that I did instead of having faith, where all I was concerned about was creating value, being as productive as I can, giving as much as I can. In fact, I went beyond just the pragmatic side of figuring it out for every one of my business deals to guarantee how as a profit center. I actually believe there's an energy to it. I actually believe that you carry an energy that can be $100 worth of energy and only receive 20 back. I'll give you an example. In my life, when I wake up in the morning, one of the things I do in meditation is I dream that my room is filled with bags of $100 bills, and I hand them out all day long. That's my job, and I ask for 20 back. Usually people are a lot faster at getting them back to me, but I dream fast too, I guess. But I dream about it. And I actually try to capture, how does that feel? How does that energy feel as I'm training and practicing? I believe in practice. Every single day, practice, practice. 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. Write that down. 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. That's the way the human body, mind, and soul work. It's a computer literally itself, and I'll get into that. But you have to carry the energy. I went into a family party the other day. My mom, who still loves me, I walk in the party, looks right past me and through me. My nephew who loves me, same kind of thing, no energy. I do a check to myself, and how do you know what, I don't feel it. So I walked out of the party, shifted my energy back to what I was doing in the morning, that place that I found, that higher frequency, that higher vibration that I found. I walk back in, immediately my mom lights up, sees me, smiles at me, my nephew sees me, runs over and gives me a big hug. That's carrying 120 energy. And you can do it in a presentation, you can do it when you are going on your first date, whatever it is. If you're thinking about feeling that I'm bringing value and you believe it, and beyond that, it is in your core, your life will change. It's 120. Now, most people have a problem not with giving. Who here likes to give? Yeah, everybody. Who here likes to receive? I like you. You don't have a problem receiving. It's funny because I wish I could bring everybody or turn cameras on you when you do that, because when I say, who here likes to give, people are hesitant. They're almost caught. I'm sorry, when I ask when we receive, they're hesitant. When I say who here likes to give, everyone's, oh, I love to give. Give makes me feel good. You know what's so great about giving? It's the only thing in the world that has this much of a powerful effect. When you give, serotonin's released in your brain and it makes you happy. You know that? It actually has a biochemical confirmation of how happy we are when we give. Even cooler than that, the person receiving, serotonin is released in their brain and it makes them happy as well.
Always wanted.
Even cooler than that, if you want to know how powerful giving is, if you witness giving, in person, on the phone, via email, social media, TV, whatever it may be, any type of media, if you witness giving, serotonin is released in your brain and it makes you happy. There's nothing more powerful than that. Here's where we have our problem. All these people you like to receive, except for my friend here. Woohoo! I'm gonna hire her, because I want to hire people that love to receive. It's an energy. She's created a void that's ready to be filled by the most efficient, effective, and statistically successful thing in the world, the most mathematically, unbelievably advanced thing in the world called the universe. It just literally works for you when you put faith into it and lift your hands up and say, I love to receive. I love to receive. I had to literally lose $100 million to figure out that I love to receive. I had no problem making money, but I realized there's three worlds about receiving. One, there's those people who receive, no matter what they receive, they live in a world of not enough. No matter what. That's the energy, that's the universe they live in. Not enough. I have a friend, he has a $40 million home in Newport Beach, California, and he lives in a world of not enough. That's all he's talking about every time I'm with him. Oh, I need more, I need... First of all, you don't need anything. If you need anything, you wouldn't be here. Remind yourself that when you tell me you need something. If you needed anything, you wouldn't be here. You have everything you need, trust me. You definitely don't have to live in a world of not enough. That's a world of scarcity, and if you put faith in the world of not enough, you'll always have not enough. Then the world that I lived in up until my mid-30s was a world of just enough. Just enough for me. I used to think I was a complete optimist, because whatever I wanted, I could manifest and get, and there's just enough for me. Just enough. I was so happy. I could buy my mom a house, a car, I could do all these different things, but there was just enough for me. But when I moved to the world of the infinity, the quantum world, the field of intention, this amazing Amazon in the sky, of a world of more than enough, when I truly believed there was more than enough, not just for me, but for everyone and everything in the universe, more than enough. I could have complete faith in providing value first, but also faith in receiving, because nothing was to me like a victim of not enough. Nothing was for me like in the world of just enough. Everything now comes through me for others. There's more than enough, so it's just coming through me. It's the only way we can expand. We're consistently connected to the most powerful source, but it has to go somewhere. And the only way we can expand is allow it to come through us for others, including forgiveness and inspiration and money, which is a currency. You need to be comfortable receiving, because our egos have needs, and they create an interference to that which encumbers us, right? It literally, we're always connected to the most powerful sources of inspiration. So what creates the interference or the corrosion to that connection? The ego. What does ego stand for? Edge, goodness, out. Right? It's an interference. The ego edges goodness out of our lives. It makes you unhappy. And we have a huge happiness problem. A huge happiness problem. That's our biggest problem. It's not the environment. Sorry. It's a happiness problem. We'll figure out the environment. We got to figure out happiness, or else we're all going to kill ourselves. Number one cause of death in America for people under 50, suicide. People in America, on average, are happy 15 days a year. 15 days. Why? Because we have needs of the ego. They need to be right, they need to be offended, they need to be separate, they need to be inferior, superior, judgment, conditions, they need to be guilty, resentful, offended, hateful, attacking, frustrated, angry, anxious. Anybody ever feel this way? Every time you feel this way, you're creating interference to the most powerful source of inspiration that's there. Happiness, true vibration. You have created it, and you put faith into that, you will go the wrong way. It's really simple. When we're in truth, we're on a trajectory of what we want. If we get what we want, it makes us happy. If we learn from it, we'll stay happy. If we don't learn from it, we'll keep getting what we want until we learn from it. And it'll result in pain, keep on resulting in pain, because the lessons will keep on coming until we keep learning them. So we want to be on a trajectory of truth, but what happens is, ego takes over and puts us on a different trajectory. The unfortunate thing about ego is it accelerates in the wrong direction. I'll give you an example. I walked outside, 4 a.m., I usually wake up at 4 a.m., meditate, then go work out. Saturday morning, I walk outside, my 17-year-old's car is missing. My initial reaction was to grab that phone, and I did, and about to call her and just lay into her. But then I remembered the needs of the ego. And so I stopped, I dropped, and I said to myself, why am I so mad? Why am I so mad? And I realized I'm not mad, I'm scared. I'm scared because my 17-year-old daughter's car is not in front of my home, and I'm terrified what may have happened. So I'm going to accelerate this problem, go scream at her. I said, no, that doesn't seem right to me anymore. So I picked up that phone, and I called her, and I said, hi. She answered. She woke up. I said, where are you? She said, in my room. Where's your car? It's at the grocery store. The kids were drinking, and you told me if kids are drinking that I could just Uber home. You didn't want me to get in the car with anybody drinking, let alone myself. Is that okay? I was like, yeah, sorry for waking you. That's a really important moment in my life. It's a really important moment for the needs of the ego, because I could have gone either way. I could have accelerated like my old self would have done and been like, where the F are you? Your car's not outside. Can you tell me, right, but, and then what's she gonna do? I'm at home, you idiot. And anybody ever been a parent and heard one of these, or been a child and been a victim of this? What happens now? The next time your child is drinking or has friends drinking, she's gonna say to herself, I better drive home. I better drive home because my dad's an idiot. He doesn't mean what he says. My dad is edging goodness out of his life, and God forbid something happens because you are living in ego. That's a classic example of the needs of the ego and moving into the wrong direction. The other thing the ego does is it gives the wrong meaning to money. I want everyone to take a few seconds right now, if you don't mind. Tell me what money means to you. Raise your hand if you can tell me what money means to you. Yes, sir. Security. Security. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Freedom. Anyone else? What does money mean to you? Yes. Choices. Great. Choices. Freedom. Security. Anybody else real quick? Peace. All right, peace. Anything else?
Tool.
Independent. Tool.
Survival.
By what?
Survival. Survival.
Certifiable. Collectible? I mean, yes. Oh, I haven't told. Was that one? Energy. Thank you. Money is energy. And that's why it's all of those other things. And we have to understand there's two currencies in the world. I am a very spiritual person. I am completely abundant. I do my best to keep on learning lessons. But I will tell you here, money does not buy happiness. But it's still the most important thing to me on this earth. On this earth, in my pragmatic world, I want to make a lot of money so I can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. It's the most important thing to me because money is an energy and it allows me to what? It allows me to shop. And what I've learned from making a ton of money, losing it, and making a ton of money the right way is that if I shop for the right things, I'll be happy. If I shop for the wrong things, I won't. But I need money in order to shop. If I have a green card, I can only buy so much. If I have a gold card, I can buy more. If I have a platinum card, I can buy even more. But if I have a black card, Amazon will send me anything that I want. And if I keep buying all the right things with my black card, I'm going to be really happy. When I turned 50 years old last year, I bought 2 community centers in Africa that will impact thousands and thousands of young women. I've never been happier in my life. I use my black card for the right reason. Way better than buying a Ferrari, which only cost me money when I didn't drive it a lot, cost me money when I drove it too much, cost me money when anything happened to it. I thought everyone would think I was successful because I had it, but they just thought I was an a-hole. And even worse, it just literally exposed myself to what my true anatomy was. It didn't help me dating any. Shop for the right things. You've got to be able to receive. Money is an energy. If you took all the money in the world, dropped it off into Dubai, it would redistribute itself to the same people. It is an energy. It is a currency. What's a currency? Currency is an object of energy that you put into a current. That's the flow that we have. Amazon right now is the biggest store in the world. You can put your currency in the flow and it comes, you manifest it. Shop for the right things. More importantly, what's the second currency of the whole universe? Anyone? Faith. Same thing. Faith. Faith is an object of energy and you put into the flow of the universe and you get what you want. You get what you want. You need the law of Goya, you need the law of attraction, but you also need the law of surrender, which is the most hyper-aggressive state. The law of surrender is so difficult because it's a hyper-aggressive state of being, number one, aware of when you're working with an ego, and two, getting out of its way. When you're working an ego, the need to be right, offended, attacking, anxious, etc., you're on fire. Your mind, body, and soul are on fire. What do you do when you catch on fire? Stop, drop, and roll. That's what you have to do. You have to get out of your way in a hyper-aggressive, and you have to surrender with faith. If you have green card faith, you're only going to get so much out of the universe. You have that gold card faith, a little bit more. Platinum card faith, a little bit more. I'm asking you to have black card faith, to use the 120 rule, to create a void, a shortage, an obstacle, literally to allow the universe to fill you with everything that you have by taking action, working smart, working hard, working long, by the laws of attraction, attracting them to yourselves, using gratitude, empathy, accountability, effective communication, and moreover, use the law of surrender to have faith in what you want, not in what other people want for you. You have to take time to focus in on what you want. I don't think we have a why problem. This guy's making, it's like the nutrition business, right? Billions of dollars are made in the nutrition business. Want me to tell you how to be healthy? Focus on being healthy for an hour a day, minimum. Whatever that is to you, go ahead. You put your focus on your health for a minimum of 1 hour a day, meditation, stretching, cardiovascular, nutrition, whatever it is, whatever you want to put focus in on for your health, I promise you will be healthy. It's that easy. Billions of dollars are made. Billions of dollars are wasted simply because we don't understand faith. Put faith in what you want. Billions of dollars are made because people are like, you don't know your why. Yes, you do. Everybody here knows their why, and it's the same thing. Every person here knows their why. You would like to do something for somebody or something else, period. That's your why. There's no step. You know what the problem is? We're so chicken. We're so far in our own way. We're so ego-driven to be separate, inferior, superior, whatever it is. We're too afraid we don't know our what. We have so many choices. We don't know what to go shopping for. We're so confused because our mom wants this for us. Our friends want this for us. All these people on the internet want this for us. I don't really know what I want. I can barely decide. How would you like it if when you went to eat every time, you were like, go ahead, order for me? That would suck. That's what people do with their lives every day. Go ahead, order for me. Okay, mom. Okay, friend. Okay, just order for me. I'll put faith in what you're ordering for me. No, you got to know what you want. Use your values to figure it out. Personal values, experiential values, giving values, receiving values. Take a stand for what you want today and make your change tomorrow for something else. That's fine. But every day you should wake up and know what you want. I deal with so many different people. They can't even list 3 things that they want. That's the first thing I do. I make sure I'm knocking off at least 5 things a day of what I want. And I prioritize those over anything else. If you listen to all these great leaders that I get to be around, they'll tell you, yeah, I have an action item list. I prioritize about what's important. Go ahead and delegate what they think is important, but it's really just urgent. Whatever your systems are, you better know what you want and then ask for help on how to get it. It's a simple 5 Thrive system to me. 1, you need to learn to stimulate interest. Stimulate interest. That's putting the energy out there, providing value. Stimulate interest. Then 2, transition interest or energy. 3, share a vision or energy. Now, most people, when they share a vision or energy, if I put it into the context of sales, they think they're 80% of the way there. Somebody told me yes. Yes, I'm going to marry you. Yes, I will buy your house. Yes, I will buy your software. Yes, I will buy the annuity. Yes. The problem is you're only 20% of the way there. The real work is step 4, managing and developing a vision. If we manage and develop a vision using the 120 rule, using faith, providing more value than we ask for, but yet receiving, if we do that, then it will, number 5, it will thrive. It will thrive on its own. It's energy that creates its own energy by the value that we produce. Apple does this better than anyone else. I'm old enough that I used to use an IBM ThinkPad and a RIM pager, a BlackBerry. And then I was in first class, and some guy opened up a Macintosh next to me, and the thing just booted right up with no viruses, and my ThinkPad was still running, and he was already working. And I said, hey, how do you like that thing? Are you like an artist or graphics or a teacher? No, I'm an accountant. Well, how do you think what do you use on that thing? Some of you are laughing because you remember the first time you saw like a business Apple. Same thing when I saw the iPhone. I've never had one person from Apple ever sell me anything. There's always some person so excited by the way that Steve Jobs managed and developed their vision. Same thing in the financial business. That's how business is made. Financial planners and executives are in the world. Why would you choose you? Because you manage and develop a vision better. Because you're out there and someone says, oh, I'm getting divorced. Oh, somebody just died. Oh, I need some insurance. Oh, I need this. And somebody's like, oh, you got to talk to my friend. He is amazing. Apple's still selling to me that way. And my guys came in, they're like, you need AirPods. I'm like, no, they'll fall out. They're expensive. I'm going to lose them. They went as far as went and bought them for me because they knew how good they were. And once that I started using AirPods, I started standing on stages and telling people that AirPods have been one of the most productive and accessible things that I own. Now they got me up here doing commercials for them. That's Thrivation. Learn to allow your life to thrive through productivity and accessibility. How do we do this? The last few things. Be a student of your calendar. What does that mean? Study your calendar every day. You've been given 24 hours of pragmatic time, man-made time. Most people don't focus in on that. I have different rules, like the 5-20 rule. All of my phone calls I try to keep to 5 minutes. All of my meetings I try to keep to 20. Anything after that's visiting. If I want to visit, I'm putting it in my calendar as visiting time. So I can spend more time with the people most relative to me. So I can pay attention to my wife and my children and my mom and other people within my community. That I don't have to visit with everyone where my activity is just about making money. Let's get down to the point so I can be of service and provide you more value than I'm asking for. I'm a student of my calendar. Number one thing I study is the biggest habit that everybody in this room has consistently. There's only one habit that we all share, and we spend usually an average of 8 hours doing it. Right, sleep. I spend as much time studying sleep as I do any business that I own. You are missing the boat if you're not studying sleep and learning how to access subconscious and unconscious things while you're resting your body. If you don't have a sleep coach, but you have other coaches, you're making a huge mistake. You can access so much in your sleep that can be beneficial for you when you're awake. You can be so productive in your sleep that makes you even more productive while you're awake, which allows you to have more value. And finally, as my Q&A person's coming up here, the best piece of advice that I can give you is be kind to your future self. People ask me what the best piece of advice I ever got, it's right there. This life is about lessons. You're going to keep on learning the lessons. You cannot remember any of them. You will forget every lesson that you learned today, here. You've learned every other lesson, like being kind, opening doors, picking up trash, doing whatever it is. But you have the ability to access every lesson that you've learned and ones that you haven't at any time. It only happens by being kind to your future self, by having faith in you and faith in others, by being kind. Kindness, to me, is the most efficient way to indicate to the universe that you are faithful. Be kind. Better to be kind than to be right. We have a happiness problem in this world, and I want you to be happy. Be grateful, empathetic, accountable, and inspirational. If you can empower others to empower others, this world will change automatically. And if you can do that, that will make me happy as well. I'm going to stay for a little Q&A. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, David. I'd like to open the floor to any additional questions now. If you have any questions or comments, please approach the microphone in the aisle and limit yourself to one question. Speak loudly and clearly, giving us your name and where you are from.
Yes, sir. Hey, David.
I'll just speak loud. Oh, there
We
we go.
got it.
I found your talk one of the most concentrated I've heard in a long time. If I want more of that, is there a book, or a blog, or something that I can get so I can ingest it over a prolonged period of time, if I may ask?
Yes, I have 4 books. All are available. And if you can't afford them or just want it for free, all you have to do is find me at David Meltzer, at David Meltzer on LinkedIn, at David Meltzer on Instagram, David Meltzer, Google David Meltzer. My website's dmeltzer. I'll be happy to send you the ebook. If you're not in America, I will mail you a hard copy of the book if you're in America, pay for shipping. Don't buy people's BS when they tell you I'll give you my book for free, but they're charging you for shipping. That aggravates me. I'm here of service. Find me at David Meltzer. There's a lot more. I have a top podcast in America called The Playbook, TV show called The Elevator Pitch. The 4 books are connected to goodness. I have books here, by the way. I brought my smallest book with Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul called Creating the Life You Love. My latest book's